All right. So I'm gonna like kind of preface this with a little bit of like a backstory. And before I start this story, I want to be clear here. Like, I'm guilty of the same shit, right? Well, I was guilty of the same shit. Not charging enough for my services or my products, right? And in the beginning, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this shit was more of an experiment than anything. It wasn't even like a real business for me. Then it kind of like blossomed into something that was like real. But I say all that to say that I wasn't charging enough, but I wanted to make my courses, affordable for people. I mean, I still like to make my courses affordable, but at the same time, I have to eat. Bills have to be paid. I started hiring people, and you can't just go like way dirt cheap for your shit. Plus, honestly, man, the less people pay, I don't know what it is, the less they pay attention. They don't respect your fucking time. There's all kind of shit that goes on with people that don't pay. They're just cheap dumbasses, right? And they're just really like people that pay more money or pay more attention. It's just that simple. The people that I've seen pay for coaching, and pay money to like, for my services and my time, whatever. Those are the people that are still right now going hard. The people that hardly paid anything, that even I've given things to, I've got two homeboys that don't. I've given them everything, the keys to the whole shit. These are two partners that I've been knowing for over 20 years, 30 years even. And one of them I've known since he was a kid, right? He's an adult now. And he needed, like, I want to learn how to do what you're doing. I want to get some online stores or whatever. I'm like, here, dude, here's the whole key to my whole shit. Here's my private group. Here's all of my courses totally free. Have at it. Nothing, right? You don't hear anything. They don't watch any of the live videos or whatever. So people that pay attention. That's one thing I want to say about this. So the next thing I want to talk about really quickly is, excuse me, is the fact that people have doubts. I mean, this is what made me do this video. We'll have doubts about, bless you, we'll have doubts about what your abilities are, or you'll have doubts about what somebody's abilities are, right? So, like, if you look at Cry Lopez and you say, he'll tell you that he's making, $100,000 a day, and you go, man, there's no way, right? Why are you saying that? Excuse me. And the reason why I say that is because somebody approached me, a couple of people approached me. They said they wanted to do business with me, and they wanted to start like this agency thing. Well, I'm like, dude, I'm already selling my professional services, and I don't provide because he's like, well, I'm thinking that we could package up some recurring revenue and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, I don't do that. I don't like, well, you don't like recurring revenue? No, I don't want to provide. I don't do like agency providing services to people, right? I don't like dealing with people over and over and over again. I want to do business with you one time. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time, and then I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's kind of like a one night stand. I'm not the type of person that wants to deal, because that's like too much like being an employee to me. You know what I mean? Like when people want to call you up and ask you stupid questions. I have a contract right now where the guy's like asking me a bunch of questions all the time. It's like, dude, stop calling me, asking me questions. I'm not your employee. We're partners in this, right? So I don't like that. It really irritates me. But here's the thing. The question he asked me was, do you really think that people have $25,000 laying around? I got turned off right there. I was like, hey, dude, listen, man, we're going to have to talk later, right? And I just left it alone. And why is that? It's not that this dude is like a dumbass or anything. I want to preface it like that because he'll probably end up watching this. But here's the thing. That's in your head that people don't have $25,000. People have got millions of dollars right now. I want to talk about the B word right now. How fast is that being thrown out there? The Dollar Shave Club dude sold his shit for $1 billion. Can I tell you a secret? I never even knew that that dude was a business in the first place. It sold so fast that I had no idea that the Dollar Shave Club was even around. And then it sold for $1 billion. Excuse me. Do people have $25,000 laying around? Yes. The reason why you don't think that they have $25,000 laying around is because you don't have it. Or you haven't had it. Now let me tell you where I came from with this. I've been broke all of my life. My wife and I have a competition on who was the brokest. And I think she kind of wins with the ketchup cracker sandwiches, right? She's got a story how she would go to the mall and steal ketchup packets, and she would have 2 crackers and put ketchup on the crackers. Now, I've got the butter and bread story, right? But the ketchup and crackers got to win. That's a cold story. And she's even got another story where she was living in Alaska and she was eating, what is the name of them animals? Moose. The moose. She's embarrassing here. What is it? The moose meat. They give it away in Alaska to people that are, having a hard time and need subsistence or whatever. And they give away moose meat. She's like, it's gamey, it's nasty. She had to figure out how to cook it. Those stories right there, like I've been on welfare and I've had to eat the government boxes or whatever, but I never had to eat moose meat and crackers with ketchup. So we have this game about how we've been broke. Like we've been broke. We're not like rich people, right? We've been homeless and not had anything, right? So that's like as soon as we started working, as soon as we got some money, we went and paid cash for a house because we knew exactly where we were coming from. Like, wait a minute, we got a little bit of money, man. Let's get this thing right. Let's go buy our house. But let me tell you what changed my mind about how you can charge for your services. So I'm doing a course by Todd Brown called the E5 course, right? I was trying to figure out how to scale up my funnel, so I went and legit bought his course. So I'm in his course, and they're doing a Zoom call, and this one guy pops on the call, and we're talking about avatars and how to actually do your customer avatar and your client, right? What's up, Richard? How you doing, man? So he starts talking about his client avatar, and he goes, "Yeah, Todd, we charge $25,000 for the avatar." I'm like, what? It blew my mind. So here I am providing proper services, right? All right, Richard, you're gonna get booted, dude. I'm sorry, man, because you're fucking nuts, and I just don't want to deal with it. So, all right, let's see here. Let's go here. All right, so. All right. So anyways, $25,000 for an avatar. Now, I want to also say this though. You have to have a skill, first of all. If all you're doing is selling software services, in other words, this is what I call this. All these guys are buying all these softwares, right? Anything that they can do and getting the agency versions of the software and then charging people to use the software for them. Like they'll post shit on their social media service. That's not a fucking skill. That's just you being a slick hustler. And that's why you can only check $500 a month for some shit, right? I'm talking about like legit professional services, like knowing what you're doing. You have to have a skill. If you have to have a skill, this won't work for you. If you don't have a skill, it just won't work for you. But if you have a skill and you're charging for it, I just want you to think about this. This guy, now I'm charging a full-on marketing funnel. I'm charging a full-on, in other words, I'm charging for your front end, your back end, and your post sales. If you're a SaaS, I'm helping you cut down on churn. I'm doing all your emails for you. I'm doing your total funnels for you all together, right? I'm drawing the whole shit out for you. And I'm actually going to do a class and show like how they start. Like, you start off in my book. They start off in my moleskin. I draw it out a few times, and then I finally put it in Funnelytics, right? So my point is saying that is I'm like providing a real service. And that includes the avatar. So here it was, I'm sitting there watching this guy talking about he's charging $25,000 for just the avatar, right? That's all I'm like, $25,000 just for the avatar. Unreal. Another time the book will be out soon, dude. Another thing that, because that's a part of it. You do need skills. If you don't have a skill, then yeah, you're done. It's over. So, another one, I was watching Frank Kern, and he's got this video where he's actually pitching people, his clients. And he gets on this huge board. It's like imagine you standing up, and the wall is 2 times taller than you, and about, I don't know, 15 feet, 20 feet long, right? So he's standing up in front of his board, and he starts drawing out this huge, complicated funnels, where, it has a evergreen product launches and different emails and contingencies if they don't do this, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to pitch them this product, and then we're going to send out these emails, and then if they do this, and it's just this big old long complicated funnel, right? And so at the end of it, he goes, I'm going to give this to you totally free, but we do ask that you pay, I guess, $300 for the interview or some shit like that, and if we'd like to do it for you, but if you want to do it yourself, we're going to leave this for you. And you'll get this with Infusionsoft. You'll get this whole thing laid out for you, the blueprint laid out for you for a couple $100. But we'd like to do it for you, and our fee for this is $13,000. And it just got me to thinking, like, now here this dude is pretty much doing exactly what I do, and he really charges about $17,000 for his services. Why would I only charge $1,000 or $2,000? Is the money out there? Yes. You're looking. First of all, your mind is conditioned because you are thinking that you don't have the money, so nobody else has it, or you wouldn't pay $25,000, so nobody else will. But let me put you in another position. Let me put you in a position. I had a friend of mine, and I told this to my wife the other day. I had a friend of mine. I was trying to help another friend out, and he didn't have $5 to buy a pack of cigarettes. And my friend was like, "Sonny, man, how are you doing business with this dude or fucking with this dude at all, man? He ain't got cigarette money." That's his exact words. He ain't got cigarette money, dude. How you gonna do business with this dude? Because my partner had never really, it's been a long time since he'd been in a space where he didn't have $5. So he didn't understand how someone didn't have it. So I want you to think in the space of how you have $200 to buy something, right? Or $300 to buy something, or even $400 to buy something. You got that in your pocket, and you don't think twice about spending $400. Well, there's a lot of people on the planet that have 25 grand that has no money. It is literally like nothing. Think about the average person now, man. The average business is bringing in over $1 million, dude. $1 million is no money. I said this on one of my videos. $1 million is the new 100 grand. I'm telling you. Plenty of people have millions of dollars, dude. And think about how much it is for them to spend 25 grand on your services. I pitch 25 grand to people, and they say, "Damn, Sonny, that's awful high." And I said, "Well, then I need 25%. And they change their mind immediately because they know if this dude is willing to take 25%, then okay, I'm going to go ahead and pay him the 25 grand because obviously I know he's going to make the money. That's it. It's the only way I'll do business. It's either 25 grand or 25%. And I'll take the 25% gladly. That's exactly what I tell people. I'll gladly take 25%. And they think about it. It's positioning. First of all, get it out your head that you can't make that kind of money. Well, let me go backwards. First of all, get a fucking skill that deserves 25 grand. Let's say that, right? Don't learn how to water a grass, water someone's lawn and ask them for 25 grand. Or don't go buy a piece of software from AppSumo for $49 and then try to charge somebody 25 grand for you to automate some silly shit, right? That doesn't deserve 25 grand, and people know that they can pay their cousin's auntie to do it, right? People know that they could, pay their nephew to do some automated work, right? They're not stupid. These are business people. You have to provide a proper skill, right? If you don't have a skill, that you can't charge more money. Go get a skill. Stop running around the internet duplicating somebody else's work or trying to just regurgitate something that you've heard, right? Michael says, I delivered a bed to this Kardashian-type family here in Southern California, and they tipped me $500 like it was pocket change to them. And it blew my mind that someone could afford to do that. Exactly. Thank you, Michael. Exactly my point. And listen, he didn't say the Kardashians. He said a Kardashian-type family in Southern California, dude. And, I'm from SoCal, right? So I know that there's so much money in Southern California. It's crazy how much money there is there, and even Northern California, like Frisco. It's crazy amounts of money there, right? But then I started traveling all over the United States of America, and I started realizing that, like, my wife lived in Columbus for a while, and she's like, there's sick money in Columbus. Who owns? Is it the guy that owns Target or something live there or something like that? Some dude. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like different companies headquartered in Columbus, and I'm like, Columbus, and she's like, yeah, dude's got millions around there. She had a business cleaning $1 million homes around there, and she said she would trip out because she would go in their houses and they had no food in the refrigerator, none. They would just be broke because they were spending all their money on the house. But my point is, Michael gives a good point. The money is there. How can somebody listen? They tipped you $500 for you delivering a bed. Now, here it is. You're trying to do business with them, and you're like, yeah, I'll just charge you $500 a month. They're like, well, what the fuck? I'll tip my delivery guy $500. You must not be doing anything. You see my point? So when you're approaching these people and you tell them you're going to charge them $500 a month or $1,000 a month, you're looking like shit. You're not worth anything. You got to believe me when I tell you this. Get a skill and then charge for it and stick to it. All money ain't good money. I've said that before. And think about this one guy. Well, now you got another example. Think about Michael getting $500 like it was nothing for delivering a bed. And here it is. You're providing a professional service to that same person. What did the bed cost, I wonder? They tipped $500. What did the bed cost? But here that same person is in business that just tipped the delivery man $500. What are you charging for doing their marketing for their company then? Do you charge them $500 a month to fucking post on social media? No. You present them a proper front end, a back end funnel. You do like Frank Kern does, show them some complicated shit that they don't want to get close to doing, right? And then charge them motherfuckers $25,000, $30,000. Dude, I'm reading this book. Predictable income. And the dude is like this, right? He's like this. It was a sleep number bed. It was the whole works for about 10 grand exactly.
We spent that on our bed.
I spent $5 grand on my bed, right? I didn't tip anything, I don't think. But tipping, you don't tip here, but still, they tipped you 5%. They should have tipped you $1,000, right? For 10%, but I guess that only works in restaurants. But anyway, that's still good though. $500 tip. I'd have been happy to deliver that bit myself. So where was I? Oh, where was I?
Yeah, you're drinking coffee.
So doing business. Let me just go back. Doing business with people like that, and you going up and talking about you're only going to charge a few $100s. People are not going to trust you. They're like, you're not worth anything. You're not putting any value on yourself, right? Think about actually what you're worth. Think about, that's what really switched my switch. What flipped my switch was the dude saying he charged. He could have been lying, but it didn't matter to me. He threw that number out, and nobody on the call flinched. Nobody was like, they didn't believe it. These people all had money, right? So nobody was like, oh, I don't believe that. $25,000 for an avatar. Because if you nail your customer avatar, if you do nail it and you do enough research, it's worth $25,000 because now you know who you sell to, right? Start charging more for your services. Find out what people are paying for services, man. If this dude here paid $10,000 for his bed, you don't think that he has $25,000 to increase his ROI, his average order value, to cut down churn rate if he sells a service? Oh, this is what I was talking about. Read this book, In Predictable Revenue. And the dude is talking about how to do this, like they call them cold calls 2.0. And he's like, well, this really works if you have a service over $100,000. I want you to feel that. I felt like shit reading the book, like, well, damn, I need to add some more money. I need to pad my shit on the $25,000. These dudes are selling shit for $150,000, dude. $100,000. They're pitching $250,000. I was reading another book, and there's this guy that everybody talks about. I don't know his name or whatever, but he's like notorious in the business. So he'll do like, it takes him 2 years to flip one client. And it's like 50 or 60 touches, follow-ups. 50 follow-ups, right? He's just following up for like 2 years. But when he does, it's a $250,000 close. And he's doing a few of those a year. But he's all got them in the pipeline. Think of, what is he pitching for $250,000? So I started thinking about shit that I do cost that kind of money. And I know that those big-ass tires that go on earth movers cost about $100,000. Well, earth movers has 4 tires. They don't have one. So think about the pitch. That's a $400,000 pitch for new tires. And you're not budging. Offer $400,000. Think about that. There's somebody on the planet that's buying more than one, more than 4. They've got several. They got a fleet of fucking earth movers. And they're buying tires for all of them. And they're $100,000 a pop. Think about that. Think about some of the things that you know cost a lot of money, and there's a company that's buying those type of things. So a $25,000 pitch to the dude that's selling $100,000 tires is nothing. A $25,000 pitch to the dude that's buying $100,000 tires is nothing. The dude is doing $1 million transactions. A $25,000 pitch is nothing. So then you have to think about, are you pitching the right person? Now, this is the biggest problem I see most people doing. They're going after any company that may or may not have the funding. So we have in my company a criteria. We try to figure out, we have a process. Are these people a good fit? There's a system in place. John did it, not me. Well, we kind of both did it, but he did most of it. He did an awesome job. Like, 'cause John thinks too much, right? So I leave that kind of shit to him. I give him the idea, and I like, all right, break this idea, and he'll come back to it with a fix, right? So basically, we've got a whole process to figure out: are these people a good fit? Do they have the money? So even when you're searching for people, are you searching for people that just got funded? Look for, go get a Crunchbase account and find out if these people have been funded, lately for $2 million. Then you know they have the money. And like the slick shit I heard Neil Patel say was like, contact the investors and put pressure on them. I like that. Because the investors have the money, and they're going to be like, yo, dude, spend the money with this dude in order to, get whatever. And that's some slick shit, but just think about the money in general. I just looked up one company on Crunchbase that got 70, some company I've never heard of called like Banco or something like that, and just got a $370 million in funding. Excuse me? $370 million in funding. You don't think they have 25 grand? Now, I want you to ask me that question again. Do they have 25 grand laying around? Yes! Stop pitching the wrong people. Get a skill. Pitch the right people. Charge what you're worth. You're worth 25 grand, dude. It's your time. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, right? Your shit's precious, man. Time is not money. Time is time. Money you can get more of. You cannot get more time. Time is not money. Time is time. It's precious. Nobody has. It's not. It's not infinite, right? Your shit's gonna stop one day, right? So, in order to give my time to somebody, man, I want to get paid for it, especially when I know that they're a pain in the ass and they're gonna call you and ask you stupid questions. That's my motivation. I gotta charge you, dude, because if I'm not charging enough money, I'm really gonna be like, man, fuck this, and I can feel it. I can feel it in my. When I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, man, it's time for us to do a milestone here, man. You're talking to me too much. You owe me some more money. That's it. So, figure out what you're worth. Get a skill. Figure out what you're worth, man, and stop projecting your own insecurities into your business. Stop projecting your own financial status into your business. Stop projecting what you would never do into your business. That needs to be a blank slate. What you need to understand is there are people out here doing millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of business. People throw around $1 million like it's nothing now, right? It's not like it used to be, and you guys, some of you guys are probably not even old enough to remember this, but back in the day, if you had $30 million, you were rich, man. Like when we found out that Michael Jordan was getting $30 million a year, that was crazy. But what's LeBron getting now? Think about the change in the numbers. They're paying baseball players $80 million a year now. What? Baseball players? Really? Think about that. Baseball. Come on, man. Who watches baseball? I'm joking, but it's serious business, though. Think about that. I want you to have a look around the internet, dude. Just go searching for different people that get paid different things. But here's the thing. I don't want you to look at famous people. Will Smith said that he met, who was it? The president of South Africa, the dude, Nelson Mandela. Mandela said, when you go out and you meet your fans, you need to let those fans touch you. And Will Smith was like, why? And he's like, because people don't believe in anything that they can't touch. So they need to know what's possible. So if they touch you and they can feel you, then they know you're real. They believe that they can accomplish what you've accomplished. But here's a test. You can't touch everything that you want to do, right? And some shit you're just going to have to put in your mind. What I want you to do is just go find some obscure-ass people that made billions of dollars and you don't even know who they are. I want you to go see those people and to go, it's called the people next door that you didn't know were millionaires, right? That you don't even know. They're just conservatives, but they're worth $20 million or $50 million or $100 million. What really freaks me out is when I watch how people make their money. No bullshit. This guy invented a tuna can lid that could pop itself, and he made $50 million from it. You're like, what? The dude that actually invented the little hot shit that around Starbucks cups, millions. The guy that invented the bend in a straw. Just start looking for these obscure, just crazy people that you wouldn't have any idea that money existed. I want you to go out and try to touch that. Just go do some searching, man. Don't look for famous people, because of course famous people have a lot of money. I want you to go find the guy that's just a motorcycle mechanic that, has a shop, and you didn't know it, but that dude's worth $25 million. You're like, what the fuck? Right? And that happens. It's all over the place, especially in the United States of America. Money is there. I'm going to say this one last time, and I'm going to tell you to fuck off. Don't project your own shit onto your business. It's harmful. Don't project you not having money. Don't project you not willing to pay that money, because if you had millions of dollars, you would pay for it. Right? If you had a broken business and I can come in and I can triple your ROI literally overnight if you have the traffic. If you don't have the traffic, I can still do it, but you need a budget. But if I can look at your business and tell you what's broken, and you can make more money immediately and probably end up making my feedback, depending on what your sales are, what you're selling, probably end up making my feedback within a week or two. Wouldn't you do it if you had the money? Of course you would. So just think about that. Think about your 25,000 being like $25 to this dude. Think about that. Think about Michael delivering a bed that cost 10 grand. $10,000 for a bed. You don't think that person would spend 25 on his business and he just spent 10 on something to sleep on? Think about that, right? To be comfortable enough to get up in the morning and go to work, right? So go out and do your research, man. And like I said, don't project yourself, your insecurities, what you don't have, and what you would do. You're not your clients. You've never had it. If you've never had 25 grand to spend on something, then your mind isn't in the right place, and that's cool. It's all right. But you have to get out of there. That whole thought about abundance is real. You can have it. Set the right numbers for your goal, right? And set a system in place. If you have a system in place, that's what the whole predictable revenue thing is about. If you have the whole system in place, it can be predictable. But it doesn't work if you're going to be charging $5,000 or even $1,000, or Ty Lopez set a real low bar. You can charge $1,000 to $10,000 a month. That's a low bar, man. People are charging way more than that. So now everybody's going around charging $1,000, and he just set a really low bar because he knew that people would doubt it if he said that you can charge 25 grand and never talk to a person again, and you could do that 10 times a month, even 100 grand. This dude is making $100,000 a day just on book referrals. Think about that. You only get $1 a pop. I seen his account. He showed it on his phone. He's making 100 grand just in affiliate commissions, dude. Just in small little $5 here, $10 there. He's making 100 grand a day in affiliate commissions. Don't think you can't charge $25,000 to change someone's life. Think about that. You're charging $25,000 to change someone's life.